Hey there drone fans, Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's video, I am really excited to show you a brand new product from our good friends over at PowerVision, the PowerVision S1 Handheld Stabilized Gimbal. Now you might already be thinking, Rick, there are so many handheld stabilized gimbals on the market. What makes this one so special? Well, when you understand the engineering and the features that are built into this tiny little beautiful package, you'll understand why I'm so excited. But before I get into the overview, in the spirit of full disclosure, PowerVision did send me this product for review, and I guess in that respect it's a sponsored video, but they only did that because about 6 months ago, I'd heard about PowerVision working on a handheld stabilized gimbal, and I started emailing them and bothering them about, hey, send me a product, I'd love to review it on the channel, I love your other products, and I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I've been out in the field using it like crazy, and I gotta tell you, it's an unbelievably cool product in so many ways. Now, if you don't know who PowerVision is, they've been in the business a long time. We've had a relationship with them for probably 8 or 10 years, going way back to their original PowerRay product and their Power Dolphin product. We've also reviewed their Power Egg product. They've got a Power Eye drone that's out. So in a lot of ways, their engineering prowess has been out there, and they've had experience with stabilized gimbals and imaging systems. And I guess at this point, because of the PowerRay and the Power Dolphin, they've conquered the seas. With the Power Egg and the Power Eye, they've conquered the skies, so the only thing left is the land, and I guess that's what they're doing with this new S1. But again, it's a brave thing to march into the handheld stabilized gimbal market because it's a fairly mature market. So for you to come out with a product that garners attention from the public, it really has to be different, and that's exactly what the engineers from PowerVision thought when they put this product together. So I imagine when they started designing this product, they sat down and said, look, there are a lot of stabilized gimbals on the market. Now they're starting to get smaller because they can fold up. What can we do to really separate ourselves from the market that's out there today? And their engineering team really hit it out of the park on so many different levels. For example, this doesn't look like any other handheld gimbal I've got. Even the ones that fold up really small are still kind of awkward. They're wonky and big and it's hard to fit into a pocket. This is beautiful. It's got nice smooth edges on it. It folds up really small. You're wondering where are the arms? I'll show you those in a minute, but it looks more like a power bank than it does a stabilized gimbal. And you'd be right, because in addition to being a handheld stabilized gimbal, it's also a power bank. It's a 4120 milliampere hour power bank that you can use to wirelessly charge anything that can wirelessly charge through a Qi charger just by dropping it on the top of the unit. If your phone or your device doesn't wirelessly charge, you can plug it into the USB-C port on the side and you can use it to charge that device. So you've now got kind of two products in one. You've got your handheld stabilized gimbal with you and a power bank you can use to charge your phone, which is wonderful because if you're out in the field or you're on vacation and you're trying to film a lot, you know your phone's going to run down, and having a power bank you can recharge it is a great thing. Now, the unit itself will provide 15 hours of use of the actual gimbal itself. It takes about 2 hours to charge it, and you can use that energy inside that battery to operate the handheld gimbal or to charge external devices. So that's the first thing they did. But to me, the bigger issue with this, or the bigger benefit of this, is the fact that they actually built an ecosystem around it. So attaching the gimbal to your phone can be done a bunch of different ways. You can actually attach it using this, which actually sticks on the case. You can buy a case that fits your phone, which actually has that attachment in it, or you can use a clamp like this. So they give you 3 different ways to attach your phone to the device. But in addition to that, they built out an entire ecosystem of other devices that once you put that attachment point on your phone, you can use all these other devices. So for example, this one, which can be stuck to a dashboard. It's got adhesive on the bottom of it. You could stick it on your dashboard, stick it on your desk, anywhere you want to put it, and magnetically it'll attach to this. So once you get your phone connected to it, it'll connect right up to this. So it's a nice little holder that you can put on your desk, and when you're not using it on your gimbal, you can snap it on there and use it on your desk. But even better, watch this. When I unscrew this, look what's inside. It's a vent mount. So you can use this in your car by sticking it on your vent and sticking your phone on there. So that ecosystem of use beyond just the handheld stabilized gimbal really gives you a lot more use out of the product itself. So I love that about them. Now, what I want to do first before I get too deep into some of the other details is I'm going to do a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit. And then I'll actually take a closer look at the S1 itself and all the accessories and clamping kits to put it on your phone. And then I'll come back and actually give you some of my impressions and some examples of using this out in the field, because the engineering behind it doesn't stop with the design. I mean, that's beautiful on its own. This is a beautiful looking unit. But in addition to that, they built a ton of really clever software into it. So just like most of the stabilized gimbals on the market, it can stay on you, it can focus on you, and as you move, it's going to rotate to keep you in frame. But in addition to that, they've built in a feature where you can zero in on an object, not a person, not a dog, not something moving, but something on the landscape, maybe a net or something over there if you're at a soccer game. And then if you move the camera or you move the gimbal, it'll stay locked on that net. So you can pick a point of interest to have the camera pay attention to and actually stay on that object. Now, a lot of gimbals out there will track people, but they're not great at staying with a stationary object. This one's got that built in. The other cool thing is the tracking software that runs on this, which runs through the application that you'll download on your phone, actually runs in the background. So the tracking application will work with other applications beyond the PowerVision application. So if you're doing Instagram and some of the other live chat sessions, you've now got a stabilized gimbal that will follow you using those other applications. How cool is that? I mean, stabilized gimbal through the PowerVision application is great, but having it sort of spread out to other applications gives you a much wider use case for it as well. All right, so let's do the unboxing, and then I'm going to take a closer look at the unit. So when you pop open the box, you'll find the S1, and again, I just love this unit. It's small, it's compact, it's got a really nice kind of a rubbery feel on the outside, so you're not going to drop it, and I'll show you it open in a second. In my kit, because I bought it with the clamp, you get this nice clamp, and the clamp comes with an extra pad. So if you have a really skinny phone, you put that extra pad on there so it keeps it in there nice and tight, and this will expand to handle really, really wide phones. Also in the kit is a charging cable. It's a standard USB-C to USB-C, so you can use this to charge the power bank. You can also use it with the power bank to charge something externally if your device uses a USB-C. Now, that's a short cable, but it works really well, and when you're charging it, it's usually close enough to a charger. You don't need a gigantic long cable, but if you need a longer cable, a standard USB-C to USB-C will work just fine. Also in there are a series of manuals. There's a quick start guide, a disclaimer, and then there's other information about warranty and things like that in case you have problems with the unit, but I don't think you're going to have any issues because, man, the engineering behind this is absolutely beautiful. All right, so to open the unit up, and again, it's a bit of a puzzle, and I love puzzles, but when I first got it, I thought, I'm not going to look at the instructions. I'm a smart guy. Let me just figure out if I can open it up, and I did. So the first thing you're going to find is a little door in the bottom. And of course, they put little stickers on here to help you out. And I'll have a close-up of this coming up. But you open up the bottom door, and there's the gimbal assembly. And you're looking at it going, all right, now how do I get that out of there? Well, you basically swing the arm up just like this. Swing the arm up to the top like that. And once it's up top, this is locked. So you loosen up this lock. Now that's loose. And then you twist it one more time like this, and you're good to go. And there's your assembly. Now, once that's set up, you're good to go. That's exactly what you're going to use when you're out there in the field. And all your controls are right here. So your thumb falls naturally over that button so you can move it around. And when you attach your phone to it, let's pretend there's a phone on here. It just attaches like that. It's going to auto center, so it's going to stay nice and stable in there. And this will lock up right in line with where it needs to be on that back piece. So that's it for your stabilized gimbal. When you're done for the day, you pull your phone off. And again, you can use your phone on any of these other attachments. You close this up, close that up, just like that. Close that up, open the door, and then spin it down just like this. Right inside that little door in the bottom. And once it's closed up, you're good to go. And that's it. Slide it back in your pocket and you can go on about your business. So they've really thought through a lot of the engineering behind this. And again, I'll take a closer look and show you all the buttons, knobs, and connectors and understand how they work so you've got a better feel for it. And then I'm going to come back with some examples to show you how I've used it out in the field and give you my impressions of it, because I get a chance to review a lot of gear on the channel. And honestly, after a while, handheld stabilized gimbals all start looking the same, so it's hard to get excited about a brand new version of a certain company's handheld stabilized gimbal. When a company like PowerVision comes along with something like this that's radically different, innovative, and the engineering behind it is just rock solid, I get excited. I get really excited. And I found that I do use these gimbals out in the field an awful lot. I found that I'm using this one a whole lot more than I'm using a lot of other products that I've got. So I'll come back and give you some impressions and some examples in a little bit, but stay tuned. Next we'll take a closer look and then we'll do the examples. The PowerVision S1 Handheld Stabilized Gimbal Kit is available in 3 different varieties, and the main difference between them is the type of mount you attach to your phone. In front of me I have the Explorer kit, which includes the gimbal, a phone clamp that attaches to your phone, a pad that you can attach to the back of this if you're using a thinner phone to make sure that it clamps on nice and tight. You'll also find a charging cable. It's USB-C to USB-C. You'll plug this end into any standard USB wall charger, car charger, or your computer. This end plugs into the USB-C port in the side of the unit, and that's how you'll charge the product. It takes about 2 hours to fully charge it, and you'll get about 15 hours of use on a full charge. You can also use this cable to charge an external device by, again, plugging this into the USB-C port, turning this on, and plugging this into your device. There's a 4120 milliampere hour battery internally that allows you to operate the unit and charge external devices. Also included with the kit are 3 small pamphlets. There's a quick start guide right here that'll give you information on how to connect to your application, how to connect to your phone, how to charge the device. You'll find compliance information on all the testing that's been done around this product. And finally, sort of a care and feeding guide to let you know how to charge it properly and how to care for it. I mean, don't drop it, don't get it in water. Obviously, take care of the unit to get the best use out of it. Now, if you decide you want to go with a different mount, the second combo is called the universal combo, and that comes with this pad that actually glues on the side of your phone. So if you've got a phone case like this, I wouldn't recommend gluing it directly to your phone, but if you've got a phone case like this, you can actually glue it to the phone case, and included with the kit is a guide here that shows you exactly where to put it on your phone. So you can fold this out, attach that first, and it'll help you position this actual mount. Then the mount glues to your phone like that, or actually your case, and you're good to go. And the magnet's inside here, and that'll interact with all the things I've talked about, including the gimbal over here. Now, I'll talk about this a little bit further in a minute. Also included in this kit, you'll find a universal magnetic mount. On the bottom is an adhesive pad. You can peel this paper off and then stick that to any flat surface. Once you clamp your phone in here, the magnet will attach to this and allow you to sort of just put it down in your desk and pivot in any direction you need to get a great view of your phone. This is also a combination mount, and it's a really clever design. Watch what happens here when I take the top off. You'll find that inside there's a vent mount. So you can take this out to your car, stick it on a vent, and again, this clamp magnetically will attach to this and give you just a perfect mount on your dashboard to position the phone as you need it. The third mount would actually be a case itself. Now, PowerVision sells a bunch of different cases that snap on your phone that actually have this attachment built into the case. So it saves you the trouble of gluing it to a case. If you want to buy a case from them, they'll actually have this attachment on it. So let's talk about the clamp first. There's a couple things you'll notice about the clamp in particular. The first one is the fact that on the top there's a little dot right there, and that'll help you align this with the actual gimbal. There's a dot on the gimbal as well. And when you snap them together, you'll see this little section that protrudes here. There's a divot on the gimbal that lines up with that, and it snaps on, and they'll give you perfect alignment. You'll also notice a little camera icon right there on the side and a little arrow. And that's important when you're snapping on your phone, that you align that with your camera. There's my camera, it's facing my camera. If I put it on backwards like this, that may cause issues with balancing on the phone. So always make sure when you snap this on that it's facing your camera. And the way you attach it is just stretch it like this and make sure that it's securely attached to your phone, and then you can snap it on the gimbal. And again, if you've got this mounted to your desk, it attaches really nicely there, and then you've got this beautiful, attachment where you can position it as you need to. Now, the other mount is interesting as well, because there's a couple of tricks in that. So if you were to go with this mount, which is a universal combo mount, there's a magnet inside there which will attach to this. But what if you want to charge it? If you want to put this down in the Qi charger, you can't really have a magnet in the way because that's going to interfere with the wireless charging. So the clever engineers at PowerVision have figured out a way to get rid of that magnet. So the magnet's there right now. If you want to charge it, you'll just basically spin this around, slide it down this direction. That slides the magnet away from the center of it and puts the magnet down here. So watch. No more magnet. The magnet's gone. So that allows you to flip it over and charge it through Qi without having that metal interfere. Now when you want to use it again, you'll spin it this way, slide it down this way, and lay it flat, and your magnet's back. So you're good to go. And that's easy to determine because you'll notice where that little notch is down there. If it's facing this direction, the magnet's up. If it's down that direction, the magnet's down. And that's the same on the phone case as well. In addition to that, there's one other accessory they offer, which is a tripod. This is the PowerVision tripod. And this can be used on the bottom of the unit because it's got a 1/4-inch threaded stud right there, which will screw into the bottom of the unit. It's a nice little tripod to use for maybe desk use, that type of thing. It can extend a little bit as well, so you can stand it up. So if you need something a little bit more substantial on your desk to get a little extra height, this is a really nice accessory that PowerVision offers as well. Now next we'll take a look at the actual gimbal, and I'll show you all the connections and buttons on that. So as I'd mentioned, PowerVision spent a lot of time engineering this particular product, and I think they've done a phenomenal job because when it's closed up, it's really compact in size, and it really is easy to slide into a pocket. You can see that I've got fingerprints all over it because I've been using it for the last couple of weeks, but it's just a beautiful design. So on the side, let's start with some of the connections. On the side, you'll find a USB-C port right there. And again, as I mentioned, that's where you'll charge the unit. So plug in a USB-C cable to a USB charger, a computer, or your car charger. You can charge the unit up in a couple of hours. That's the power button. If you tap it once, it'll tell you how much power is in the unit. If you tap it and hold it, it'll actually turn the unit on, and you can wirelessly charge through this, or you can charge through the side. You want to make sure you unhinge the gimbal before you actually turn the unit on fully. On the top is the record button that actually starts your recording. It also allows you to step through some of the menus. Then you have a 5-way button right here, and that's used, if you push it in, you can step through menus, and if you move it to either side, you'll move the gimbal back and forth this way or up and down that way. So it falls perfectly under your thumb, so it's very, very easy to use. Now, one of the things I want to show you, again, another clever design, is on the bottom of the unit, you've got a 1/4" 20 hole right there that you can use with any tripod, even a big one or a desktop tripod. But there's other things on here that should become apparent. And I think, again, if you're an engineer designing this, to build in a stand, a 3-way stand on the unit by flipping that down, pulling these out, and extending them out like that, what I've got now is a gimbal that will freestand on my desk. So I can use it just like it is now with a built-in tripod, which again is something nobody else is thinking about at this point. So good on PowerVision for coming up with an incredibly clever design for giving you a built-in tripod. All right, so now to unhook the unit and actually spin up the gimbal, I've left the stickers on just to make it easy. So I've got number 1, number 2, number 4, number 3 is inside there, so I'll show you that. You'll see a little slit right there. You can put your finger underneath that, flip it down, and that's the actual gimbal assembly. Your next move is to flip this up. Just like this, you'll gently extend it up in this direction. Once that's fully extended, you've got number 3, which shows you to flip this way. And then number 4, which actually flips this way. And that unlocks the gimbal in all 3 directions. So now you're ready to go. You can turn it on, snap your phone on there, and it'll just take over and actually level your phone. When you're done for the day, you'll reverse the procedure. So you'll spin this back like this, put it in the lock position, spin this one down, just so that it stays locked like that, close it up like that. And then you'll spin this, make sure you align it straight like that. Spin it down into the bottom there and close that up. And then you're ready to go. You can slide it back in your pocket. That's pretty much it for the gimbal. Pretty clever design. Now I'll show you some of the incredible artificial intelligence features that are built into the PowerVision S1. So for example, I've turned on hand gesture mode just by tapping the hand icon at the top of the menu, and now the camera is watching me, waiting for me to show it certain hand gestures that will trigger events on the camera. So for example, if I want to take a picture, I'll hold up a V like this. The camera will recognize that. It'll start a 3-second countdown, give me time to get into position, and then snap a picture of me. So that's pretty cool, and that's really handy if you've got a large group of people that you'd like to gather up and get a nice picture of everybody in a group. That's hard to do if you set a timer because everybody's got to get in a position and then smile at the right time. So by getting everybody ready, everybody smile and hold it up a V, you can actually take that picture. Now let's say, for example, you wanted to start a video recording, you'll hold up an L, just like that. It'll actually recognize that. It'll change to video, count down 3 seconds, and start the recording. So right now it's recording me, so I can actually do whatever I want to do. I don't have to run over to the camera to hit a button to start it or stop it. I can stop it with another L. But let's take it a step further, because one of my favorite features is the face tracking on this technology. And to trigger that, you'll hold up 5 fingers like this. It'll find your face, draw a box around it, and start tracking you. So notice how it's moving when I move, and it's actually still recording me, so it's doing a really good job of keeping me in frame. And even if I go down a little bit, it's going to track me down. It's kind of going to track me back up again. It's creepy in a lot of ways, but it's so smart that it can see my face, keep my face in frame, even against all of this sort of complicated background behind me in the setting sun. This is not the greatest lighting conditions, but it can still see me and keep me in the center of the frame. Now, if I want to stop face tracking, I hold 5 fingers up again. It'll stop the face tracking. And if I want to stop recording, I'll hold up the L again. It'll actually stop the recording. So you can control a lot of the internal functions of what the S1 is doing simply by waving your hands in front of the camera. And it just makes it so much easier when you're out in the field recording. Now, stay tuned and I'll do a little bit of walking around and show you how good the stability is on the product. All right, let's take a walk down to the dock. Now I've got some pretty rough ground here, so this stabilized gimbal should take care of all the bumps and moving around when I'm jockeying to get down to this dock. But this lake is hands down one of my favorite places to fly. It's just incredibly peaceful and it's a gorgeous afternoon. Those white puffy clouds up there, beautiful calm lake. So I'm gonna pan left, and this is nature at its best right here. When I'm out of a rough day, I'm coming down here, I'm gonna relax and just enjoy this beautiful scenery. I hope you found that closer look and those demonstrations helpful. Now here are a few things to keep in mind when you're comparing the PowerVision S1 handheld stabilized gimbal against others you may be considering. And these are things that really make this product special. Number one, the engineering is brilliant on this. As I showed you before, it's a tiny little package that easily slips into your pocket. Most of the other gimbals on the market, even the ones that fold up, are kind of big and clunky and really hard to slide into a bag. This one, it looks just like a power bank. It's got nice smooth edges around the outside of it, so it slides into a pocket or your backpack without any issues whatsoever. The other thing that's really nice about it is it's a combination handheld stabilized gimbal and a power bank. So you can use it to charge your phone, your earbuds, anything that charges over a standard wireless Qi connection. Or if you don't have something that charges wirelessly, you can connect a USB-C cable up to it, connect it up to your device and charge it when you're out in the field. The 4120 milliampere hour battery that's internal in this unit provides more than enough power to operate the unit for about 15 hours on a full charge, and you can recharge the unit in about 2 hours. A couple other things that are pretty cool. I like the magnetic attachment ecosystem they've developed because it allows me, once I clamp this onto my phone, I can actually use the gimbal when I need to. But when I'm not using the gimbal, I can use things like this to clamp it on my desk. I can use some of the discs to clamp it to a wall. I can even use it in my car with the included attachment here for my my vent system. So what they've done is actually built out an entire ecosystem of magnetic accessories that allow you to sort of expand the use case for the attachment. And if you use the case, the phone case, it's even easier because the phone case has the stand built in where you can actually stand your phone up in both landscape and portrait mode. It just gives you a really nice way to use your phone. And then the final thing is the application that's included with this gives you a tremendous amount of advanced features for editing. So when you shoot video on your phone, you can bring that video into the editing software and it'll all kinds of special effects to it. You can add all kinds of titles to it and create just a perfect video in a few minutes that you can easily post to your favorite social media sites. So I hope you found this review helpful. I really like reviewing products like this, and I think that what PowerVision has done with really their first attempt at a portable handheld stabilized gimbal is built a product that's different than everything else on the market. In a lot of ways, it's brilliant compared to a lot of the handheld stabilized gimbals out there. But in addition to that, the engineering and thought that went into this product really puts it in a class unto itself when you compare it to other gimbals in the market. And I think you'll see a lot of other companies try to follow this pattern with gimbals that they're going to develop in the future. So that's pretty much all I had for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in the product, I've got a link below where you can go and check it out and see if it's right for you. I think the pricing on it is really good compared to other gimbals on the market. So it's definitely a product that's worth consideration. Thanks again for watching. And until next time, happy flying.